Okay, so for this lesson, we are doing the definition of the derivative. This is basically the long way to find a derivative of a function. This works for any function, but later on we'll be learning different properties that make it so much easier to find derivatives. But this is just another step that will let you find the derivatives of functions. So, as you can see in the yellow, this is the general form of finding a derivative right here. F prime of x equals the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. So to do this, you basically are going to be plugging in x plus h into this function, and then minus just the function, and then divided by h. And so what the limit means is we need to make it so the denominator does not just have an h in it, it needs to have nothing, pretty much. Because if you plug in a 0, it's undefined then. So we're basically going to simplify it so there's no h in the denominator. And then we'll be plugging the 0 in for the h's. So we'll get started. That kind of sounded confusing, so hopefully you'll understand a little better as we go. Okay, so that's our function. So this is where we're plugging in the x plus h. So there's the first part of the numerator. And then we're going to subtract f of x, which is just the function. So minus 3x cubed minus x plus 2. And then just all of this over h. Okay, so that is the first step in finding the derivative, using the definition of the derivative. Now we're just going to simplify it a bit, and then we'll be able to cancel some h's and then find what the derivative is. So I'll change colors so we don't get steps mixed up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do first is distribute this out, because that is going to, that's where we're going to be able to cancel h's from once we distribute that out. So I'm going to do it up here just to save room. So x plus h plus h. So I'm going to start just by foiling out the first one here. So we get x squared, outer, inner, so we'll get 2hx plus h squared. And then just bringing that down. And then if we distribute this out, we get, I'm going to write it down here just to save room. We get x cubed plus 2xh cubed, or squared, plus xh squared plus hx squared plus 2h squared x plus h cubed. So then let's see if we can simplify it at all. So equals, so the x squared, or x cubed, there's nothing to combine it with. So that's just x cubed. And then this turns into plus 3hx squared. This, I just wrote it in a different order, but that turns into plus 3h squared x and then just plus h cubed. So that is just this part circled in green here. Now we're going to expand it out with the 3. So we'll go back down here. So we get 3x cubed plus 9hx squared plus 9. Oh, well, I'll just write it in different order because I accidentally squared 3h cubed. So that is that, the part circled in green, and the 3 now down here. And then we subtract x, and then I'm just expanding this out. And then I'm just going to expand the negative out here. Minus 3x cubed plus x minus 2. All of this over h. Okay, so we actually didn't need the parentheses because I decided to expand that out. But let me get back here. Go red. So now we're going to find like terms again. We have that, which cancels, so I'll just put a line through it. Then we have the x's that cancel, the 2's, and I believe that is all we can cancel. So that leaves us with 9hx squared plus 9xh squared plus 3h cubed minus h. And this is a new problem. It's not in the denominator here, just so you don't get confused. Or not a new problem, but a new step in the problem. Divided by h. So as you can see, each of these have an h in it in the numerator. So that means we're going to be able to cancel. So we get rid of this h, the squared. That turns into a cube, or a squared. And then that one. So we get 9x squared plus 9xh, right there, plus 3h squared minus 1, and there's nothing in the denominator now. So now what we do, we still have the limit as h approaches 0, so now we just plug in 0 for the h's. So that gives us 9x squared plus 9x times 0. So this is just all going to cancel out because it's 0 times them. And then plus 3 0 squared, so that's going to cancel out also because it's just a 0, minus 1. So that is. So then the answer to this problem is 9x squared minus 1. And this is a really long way to find derivatives, but this is one way you can find them. So in our next lesson, I believe it's the next lesson, let me double check. Let's see, we just did the definition of the derivative. So in the next lesson, we'll be using the power property, which you use for polynomials and powers. And it'll give us a lot easier way to do this problem here. It'll take like 2 seconds. So stay tuned for that.